There was a Chassid, his name was Reuven Dunim. He passed away, I don't know, 10 years ago. It seems like just yesterday. He was a very wonderful person, a very genuine person. He had been a tractor driver in Israel, so from a kibbutz. So he sort of came from a non-religious background, some ways. I mean, not really, because his parents, I guess, had been religious. So anyway, he fell out of this whole business, and he, being religious, and then he saw the Rebbe. He saw there were the Chassidic Chabad. He lived in in Haifa, which is a very, very anti-religious city. It used to be, anyway. And he met the Chabad Hasidim over there, and he became friends with them, and they took him to the Rebbe. As soon as he saw the Rebbe, he became enamored of the Rebbe, and the Rebbe even said that anytime you want to come into my room, just knock, you can come in. It was an amazing relationship that he had with the Rebbe. So anyway, they used to take him a lot to go when the Chabad would go to these different kibbutzim in Israel and make Chabad evenings, which that was almost an unheard of thing, because the kibbutz people, usually they were people that either they or their parents or their grandparents had been religious, so they had been exposed to Torah and commandments. They knew what Torah and commandments is and what religion is, and nevertheless they opted out for something much, much incomparably better in the form of, the Zionist ideal and taking Israel and building the land and all this stuff. But the fact of the matter is that they were Jews, and that they were Jews inside, but they didn't have anything to be happy about. Judaism promised nothing to them. And so Chabad used to go and make Chabad evenings in all these different kibbutzim, and they would sing and they would dance and they would talk, and sometimes they would argue, and they made it as pleasant as possible. There would be a good, pleasing experience. It wouldn't be a confrontation or something like that we're better than you and we know and you don't know it. But nevertheless, it would be a meeting of two cultures, if you want to call it. So they would bring him a lot of times, and he would speak, and he knew how to get down. He was a down-to-earth person. He was a very down-to-earth person. And he was a very religious, Jew, but he was very friendly and very happy and very open, and was not insulted by no matter what you said, and he would accept everybody. It was friendly to everybody. Anyway, so they brought him to one of these kibbutzim. So he got to one kibbutz, and they said to him, all the people were sitting there, and they brought somebody to play music or something, and then Reuven Dunim was going to talk to you. So somebody stood up, one of the kibbutz fellows in the kibbutz, and usually these people in the kibbutz, they were pretty healthy guys. I mean, they worked they worked on the ground, and they worked in the farms, and So he said, "Listen, Rabbi, we know you got all the answers, and you're going to come and teach us. You have to prove, before you start talking, before you open your mouth, you prove to us that God exists. If you cannot prove that God exists, we're all leaving. We don't want to hear your stories. We heard it from our grandparents. Can you prove to us that God exists?" So he said, "Yeah, of course I can." He says, "You can prove God exists?" He says, "Yes, I can. Sure, I can." So he said, "Okay, the stage is yours. We're listening. Prove to us that God exists. But we want to warn you, we're not stupid people. And, we've read the books. We know what you got to say. But maybe, no one else has succeeded. Let's hear you." So he said, "Okay." He said, "First of all, you work on the farm, right?" He said, "You have animals on the farm, right?" He said, "Yeah, we have animals on the farm. What's that got to do?" He said, "You have here like goats and cows." He says, "Yeah, but what's that got to do with it?" He says, "You want to know if God exists? I'll prove it to you. Just one second." It says, and sometimes there's like cows give birth to calves, right? So sometimes you can have a calf that weighs the same thing as a goat, right? Let's say a goat weighs 150 pounds. You can have a calf that also weighs 150 pounds, right? He says, "Yeah, okay, good. But what's your proof?" He says, "Listen, just have a little patience." He says, "Okay. Now, when a goat goes to the bathroom, it defecates. It goes to the bathroom. So when it comes out, the manure that comes out, it's like little balls, like little black balls. But when a calf, when it goes to the bathroom, so it comes out like cakes, on the ground. So the people are looking at each other and says, tell me, are you for real? Are you normal? What are you talking about? So, no, I'm serious. You're asking me to prove that God exists. So I'm taking a little bit of a different angle, but what, just have patience. And said, okay, good. Said, okay, is that true or is it not true? He said, yeah, it's true. It's true. When a goat goes to the bathroom, when it puts the manure, it comes out in little balls. And when a calf it goes to the bathroom, it comes out in big cakes. Good, okay. So Reuven Dunan says, can you tell me why is that? I mean, they eat the same food. Why is it that when one goes to the bathroom, the manure comes out in balls and the other one comes out in cakes? So they were laughing. They said, Rabbi, tell me, are you normal? I said, well, can't you answer the question? Just answer the question, and then I'll prove to you that God exists. Can anybody answer? So everybody said, no, we can't answer the question. So he said, I mean, you people don't understand manure. You're going to understand God. Of course, he used a little bit sort of a more spicy word for the word manure that I'm using. You people don't understand manure. You're going to understand. You think you're going to understand God? Everybody laughed. It was what's the point? The point of the matter is that he could have taken any example, but nature, that's what they should have said. Nature, why does a dog bark and a cat goes meow up? Because nature is a thing you can't understand. That's what it means, nature. Nature is another word for a thing which you can't understand. That's the nature of the thing, right? The nature of the moon is it goes like this. The nature, that's what nature is. There's laws of nature, etc. But you can't explain why, who passed those laws. You can't rescind the law of gravity. The laws, nature is a thing you can't understand. That everybody agrees. So there's things you don't understand. There's things about, and we live with that. We live with it. And so he was saying to them, listen, if you can live with things that you don't understand, and it becomes part, maybe you can live with another thing that you don't understand. Maybe God is not understandable. Maybe you don't have to understand everything, but nevertheless, it's practical. You can use it. And so with his joke, he opened up a whole connection. Whether he convinced them or not, I don't know. But the idea of convincing them is not convincing them intellectually, improving, the ontological argument and the teleological argument, unless just to say, listen, God creates us. We don't understand it. God is good. Faith, that's what Judaism is based on. Faith. We don't understand. But what we can understand, it's a commandment to understand. And that's how we can come to love God. And that's the part that Reuven Dunim could give over to them. The little things that we do understand about life and we do understand about God. And that gives us, like we just finished learning in the Sikha, a wider view, a wider perspective of life and reality and the goodness of the Creator. Have a good day with Mashiach now. Hope to see you all on Sunday at 8:15. Shalom uvracha.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good Shabbos. Thank you for